What's up guys? So today I'm going to give you my review of the Portronics Sound Drum Plus. And I know this speaker has been out there in the market for a while now, but if you do believe in my verdict, then you'd want to stick around till the end of the episode because I have some interesting things to say about this speaker. But first, please, if you do enjoy watching these reviews that I make, please subscribe to Purecast 9. It really means a lot to me. Hit like on the video because it really helps the YouTube algorithm and help my channel grow. And after watching this review, if you're convinced that the Portronics Sound Drum is the speaker that you want to buy, please use the given link in the description below to make your purchase. It won't cost you anything extra, but it will help me run this channel and produce more quality content like this just for you guys. Alright, so with that said, now let me give you first the specs of this speaker. What makes it special? So it is a 15 watt RMS speaker. It's got a 2600 mAh inbuilt battery that they claim gives you around 5 to 6 hours of uninterrupted playtime. It's also got an inbuilt mic for you to answer calls, the quality of which I will get to later. It has Bluetooth version 5. It's got IPX6 water and dust resistance, and it comes with a dynamic treble and bass mode, which you can enable or disable with the press of a button, a single button which is placed on the top. Now, apart from this, it's got a dedicated USB port, it's got an aux port as well, and charges via USB-C. So it's got all the bells and whistles that you would want in a speaker that you're buying in 2021. But unfortunately, they have taken away the inbuilt FM, which was there in the original Sound Drum. So that is sad, but I'm sure they've had their reasons, maybe to give us the better battery. For whatever reason, it's not there anymore. But apart from that, the build of the speaker is also pretty hefty. It doesn't feel cheap. There are no moving or squeaky parts. It feels really dense and nice in the hand, the fabric all around, the clicky buttons on the side, and the matte rubber on the top. So the build is really good. So very impressive from the get-go. So if you're an existing viewer, you already know how I judge a speaker. It's based on the 3 frequencies that make up broadly any sound that you hear: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids where the vocals lie, making up for more or less the body of the music, and the lows, which is the bass, which we all love. So starting off with the highs, the Sound Drum Plus produces very sharp highs, which are very audible, and even at max volume in my testing, I didn't find any sort of crackling or distortion of sorts. So it was very sharp, very audible, and I really liked it. So I have no complaints there. Now moving to the mid frequencies, this is where it gets really interesting because when you listen to any song or music using the Sound Drum Plus, the first frequency that will hit you if you are vigilantly, monitoring that is the mid frequency. So vocals are super upfront, bright and sharp. So this can go 2 ways. It can either be a disadvantage or an advantage depending on your preference, your taste. So if you are going to get this and you want a speaker that gives you really crisp vocals, which are bright, upfront, sharp, extremely audible at all volumes, then this is perfect. And for some, they might feel that it is not balanced and too much of preference is given to the vocals. So for them, it might not be something very pleasing. But the quality is by no means bad. It's so crisp and sharp. So now, like I said, it will depend on your preference as to what kind of sound you prefer. Now coming to the low end or the bass, like I said, right out of the box, it is in the treble mode. So this review, this judgment which I'm giving is in that default mode, which I again would suggest is the mode that you use, and I'll give you the reason later. So the low end was adequate. It was punchy. It had sufficient bass. It's not something that's going to rock your room or table, but it's there. It's not missing. And obviously it is very mid heavy. But if you want the extra bass, you obviously can just press the button and go into bass mode. But what this does is that it literally absolutely eradicates the mid and high frequencies. So suddenly the clarity of the song or music you're listening to is just gone, and it's just bass. Now that might feel very appealing for a bass head, but actually in reality, it is something you wouldn't want to use. because I was excited. I'm a bass head and I really wanted to try out the bass mode, but I just used it once and immediately turned it off, because each time I listened to a song or music that I really enjoy and turned on bass mode, it's like I absolutely turned down the treble and the highs. So, I mean, it's all gone. It's just bass. Doesn't sound good, not balanced. A speaker should be able to produce all three frequencies and do justice to that while maintaining very good low and thick, juicy bass. So bass mode is something I wouldn't suggest unless you're listening to dubstep and you really want that extra punch and you don't care about the clarity. You can obviously use that. It's at your disposal. In general, the default or treble mode is the way to go. One thing I also want to mention is that in the mid frequencies, although it is very bright and sharp, like I mentioned, there are also frequencies within that mid range, which a good speaker is able to produce. So I know, because I've listened to certain songs which I know there are instruments in the mid frequencies. In the Sound Drum Plus, in I think 2 tracks that I listened to, I couldn't find or hear those instruments very clearly. So the mid frequencies were giving preference to the vocals so much that those instruments which also lie in the mid frequencies were kind of eaten up. So something I noticed and something I'm letting you know. It won't obviously happen on all tracks, but something you should be aware of. But overall, I'm really happy with the sound of the Sound Drum Plus, and it is a definite upgrade in all the good ways from the original Sound Drum, barring the inbuilt FM, which they've taken away. But apart from that, it's an upgrade in every aspect, and I really like it. So I would definitely recommend this speaker to anyone who wants something which is compact, which is high quality, which gives you really good impressive sound and decent battery backup. And if you just care about loudness as well, then 15 watts is really good. It's really quite loud at max volume. So I do recommend this speaker. So that is my verdict on the sound. I do enjoy it. I do recommend it. And one thing also, it just crossed my mind. 2 things actually. Number one is that the speaker does move about a lot even with the bass mode off. So it really jumps about on the table. So ideally, if you keep a non-skip mat or a cloth of sorts, that will keep the speaker stationary. And when using the microphone, it is of very good quality, and call quality was fine. I was audible on the other end, and so was the other person audible to me. But you have to be a maximum of 1 foot away from the speaker, not further than that. If you're further away from that, you'll have to literally shout. But if you're closer than 1 foot, you're absolutely audible to the other person, and it's a very good experience. So I think I've covered all the points, and this has gone on long enough. And now I'm going to leave you with the sound test. I'm going to play 2 tracks on the speaker. You guys listen. In between these tracks, I'm going to press the button to enable the bass mode so that you can get an idea as to how it sounds, and then I'll turn it off again so it comes back to normal, and you can actually make out the difference as to how much of that clarity is being taken away by the bass mode. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit like on the video, it really helps me out, and please use the link of the speaker given in the description below if you decide to buy this. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.
While you and me repeat, this bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.